There is a medieval legend. During the Inquisition, a fortune teller was sentenced to be burned at the stake. Inquisitors claimed that tarot card reading was against the church. How can it be so? How can it be against the church when the Pope himself is on the tarot cards? The poor woman argued, showing the card to the crowd. She was immediately released. It's hard to say how willing the inquisitors were to admit their mistakes. Indeed, unlike playing cards, tarot cards were not mentioned in documented church prohibitions. And the card of the Pope was present in the most ancient decks. Greeting wanderer, and welcome to the world of the Vatican secrets and tarot. The fifth card of the Major Arcana was called by different names: the Pope, the Hierophant, and even High Priest. In the Visconti-Sforza deck, we see the Pope in the Papal Tiara. The Papal Tiara symbolizes that the Pope simultaneously holds three unified functions of power. Firstly, he is the father of princes and kings. Secondly, he is the ruler of the world. And thirdly, he is the vicar of Christ. In the card of the deck of Charles VI, we see the Pope holding keys. This signifies that he is the successor to St. Peter. According to the Bible, Jesus gave Peter the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Not the keys to paradise, as often interpreted in pop culture, but the ability to convey knowledge to others that would help them get there. St. Peter is also considered the first pope, hence the keys on the coat of arms of the Vatican, and the St. Peter's Basilica is built on the site of his burial. The blame for the death of St. Peter lies with Emperor Nero, depicted as the ruthless maniac on the 8th card of the Sola Busca deck. It is believed that Nero was furious about Peter converting two of his beloved wives to Christianity and ordered the apostles' execution. Shortly before this, at the request of the believers, Peter had fled Rome at night. However, as he was leaving the city, the Lord appeared to him in a vision entering Rome.
"Where are you going, Lord?"
asked his apostle.
"I am going to Rome to be crucified again,"
he replied. Peter understood everything and returned back to Rome, where he was crucified upside down. At least 15 more popes died a martyr's death before the official cessation of persecutions against Christians. On the Lenormand Tarot card, we see not just a symbolic pope but specifically Pius VII, as indicated by the coat of arms behind his throne. This pope is known for crowning Napoleon Bonaparte. More precisely, Pius VII was supposed to do it, but Napoleon snatched the crown from his hands and crowned himself. As is known, Arthur Edward Waite was a Mason, and popes had an ambivalent stance toward Masons. Even Benedict XIV issued a bull against Masons as early as 1751. However, on the Hierophant card of the Rider-Waite deck, we again see the Papal Tiara. And this is not the only Christian symbol that Waite concealed on the card.
The cross in the left hand signifies that the Hierophant governs our hearts, and his authority also comes from the heart. The Hierophant's gesture, with the raised right hand featuring 3 open fingers and 2 closed, suggests both the public and hidden aspects of teachings. The Hierophant shares only a portion of knowledge with the congregation. Some is meant for everyone, while a portion is accessible only to the chosen few. The 2 keys at the feet of the Hierophant represent the keys to the kingdom of heaven, which the Apostle Peter received. These same 2 keys are depicted on the coat of arms of the Vatican. The 2 monks in front of him are his disciples, indicating that the Hierophant always addresses the congregation. The red roses and white lilies on the monks' garments symbolize divine love and spiritual purity. These same flowers appear on the Magician card, but there they are alive and not on clothing.
On Alistair Crowley's card, we see a priest who clearly has nothing to do with Christianity. However, this doesn't mean that it is entirely unrelated to biblical symbols.
In the corners of the card, there are faces: a lion in the bottom right, an ox in the bottom left, an eagle in the top left, and completing the series, a human face. They clearly refer to the Tetramorph, a being with 4 heads described in the Old Testament in the revelation of the prophet Ezekiel. This signifies the guardians of secret knowledge, often interpreted as the 4 evangelists, with an angel instead of a human. The figure of the priest is inscribed in a hexagram symbolizing the macrocosm. On the priest's figure, there is a pentagram with a dancing child symbolizing the microcosm. The priest unites these 2 worlds. In front of the priest stands a woman with a sword, symbolizing Venus, the warrior goddess. The wand in the right hand symbolizes 3 intersecting circles representing the zones of Isis, the Egyptian goddess of motherhood, Osiris, the god of the afterlife, and Horus, the god of the sky and the sun. One of the central images on the card is the bull, simultaneously a zodiac sign, a part of the Tetramorph, and the bull from the myth of Pasiphae. The Cretan queen fell in love with the bull that Poseidon gave her husband. This passion resulted in the birth of the Minotaur, condemned to spend his entire life in the labyrinth.
Pope Alexander VI, also known as Rodrigo de Borgia, consistently indulged in his sinful desires. Rodrigo de Borgia had about 10 children from his mistresses, whom he strategically placed in high positions within the Vatican, disguising them as nephews. For instance, Cesare Borgia became a cardinal at the age of 16. However, this was not enough for Rodrigo. He poisoned his adversaries, earning him the nickname, the Satan's Apothecary. Nevertheless, Rodrigo's actions were not limited to his personal affairs. During his rule, he orchestrated numerous political moves, including blessing the marriage of Isabella of Castile and Frederick of Aragon, thereby uniting Spain. The popes only regained the reputation of true peacemakers in the 20th century with the onset of the First World War. Pope Benedict XV condemned the First World War and called for an end to the suicide of civilized Europe. He faced strong opposition from cardinals who supported the position of Austria-Hungary. As a result, by the end of the war, Benedict XV was excluded from peace negotiations. That's it, Wanderer. See you in the next journey.